One of the reports that I was doing was on why Black Caribbean and white working class boys have so much difficulty. We went around interviewing various groups of boys, and then he said, oh, I know this gang that hang around outside the chicken takeaway near me. So we went to find them, and we were on the other side of the road, and I looked at them and I thought, oh my goodness, because normally, you know, as a sort of white, middle-class, middle-aged woman, I would just pass by on the other side and hope not to get noticed. And they were sort of hollowing out at everybody, and they were quite aggressive and frightening, and they had their hoodies up, and they looked as if they could be carrying knives or even guns. But across the road we went, and we started to talk to them. And I was immediately struck by their intelligence and charmed, and especially by the leader, who's the very smallest, who looked about age 10, called Tuggy Tug. So I said, well, what have you been doing? So they hunched up their shoulders and, ooh, we've been doing the shooting and the stabbing. So I said, I looked at them, and I have a son the same age as them. And always at that time in the afternoon, he's hungry, and these boys look quite peaky. So I said, are you hungry? And immediately all the bravado vanished, and they said, we're always hungry. And I was so shocked and cross. No grown-up seemed to be looking after them. I took them out to a restaurant, and that's how our friendship began. And I'd done a lot of research, so I thought I knew why boys like them fail. But until I actually sort of spent time with them, heard them talking, heard them complaining what their problems were, actually went with them to, for instance, to the job centre. I spent days in the job centre with them, trying to get them training and jobs, and actually saw those institutions through their eyes, and saw how they kept on being defeated and what was holding them back and what was holding them down. I didn't expect to find that despite all the money we spend, we've sort of completely failed to sort of house, feed, educate, or give boys like these any kind of hope for the future. And I think that while we're sort of warehousing generation after generation of them, we have to expect scenes like we saw in the riots last summer. Yes, it's changed me very much. I mean, I think probably I'm probably right-wing. I write for the Daily Mail. I write for a right-wing think tank, the Centre for Policy Studies, and I think they changed. I think they changed me a lot more than I changed them. Actually, they made me very angry. I mean, actually, you know, I started right-wing, and they've turned me into an anarchist. And one of the reasons I wanted to write that book was to explain why I'm so angry, and try and make other people angry as well, and say this should not be happening, and there's no reason for these boys' lives to be wasted.